Hi, this is Jill Varvel with the Dixiecast podcast. Today I am with the Washington County Extension Homemakers Council, and I have Mary King with me, I have Amy Birdsong, and I have Anna Goff. And so we're going to learn a little bit about what EHC is. So I'm first of all going to ask you ladies to please introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Anna Goff. I'm the County Extension Agent for Family Consumer Sciences. I work for the University of Arkansas System, Division of Agriculture, Cooperative Extension Service, and I'm the advisor for the Washington County Extension Homemakers Council, and I also cover educational programs on topics including food nutrition, food safety, food preservation, family life, parenting, relationships, mental health, health and wellness, and personal finance.
I'm Amy Birdsong. I'm a member of 3 EHC clubs. I'm in charge of Let's Sew. I'm a member of Serendipity 59ers, and they let me come to Needle Arts, even though I don't really know how to crochet. I've lived in Washington County all my life, and I've been in EHC almost 2 years.
Mary?
I'm Mary King. I've been in Extension, I think, for 16 years. 25 years before that, I was in Extension for 8 months. And when I got retired, when I retired from banking, I rejoined the original club, which was Serendipity, which has become Serendipity 59ers. I'm the incoming president of the county. I'm going to need lots of help, and there's 2 people here that can help me, and there's a lot more in Extension that can as well. I love Extension. I'm through introducing myself, though.
So how would you best explain the Extension Homemakers Council? How would you explain it? What is it?
It's 18 small groups of individuals that meet together. They meet together locally. Locally can mean like in their same small town, or locally can mean in their same mindset. So there are project clubs that meet, that, for instance, Needle Arts, where you learn about knitting and crocheting and embroidery, and you can see all kinds of interesting things. There's quilting groups, and then there's groups for like the small town of Goshen, where they like to do things to benefit their community specifically.
And who is eligible to become a member?
So anybody can join Extension Homemakers, and basically the whole origination for the Cooperative Extension Service is that together we are working, and it's cooperatively funded. The local quorum court throughout the counties, they are determining our funding, and then there's additional assistance from the state and federal tax dollars to assist on different aspects, but we're extending the knowledge and research from the universities. So the whole extension is a whole part for us to be training and working with volunteers. And so we have educators that work with volunteers in the county. Extension Homemakers Council has 3 base pillars of education, leadership, and community service. And so through that, we're able to see where there are needs throughout your local area, throughout the county, throughout the state, and then address those needs of the interests of the individuals.
So maybe we can go around and you can share with how you became members of EHC, or became involved, I should say.
My mom has been a very active member since I was in high school, and so I was familiar with that whenever I was with the 4-H program, which is the youth development aspect of Extension program, the Cooperative Extension Service. And as their advisor, I enjoy getting to work with them throughout the year, and they can share more details.
Well, I got involved because my friend invited me to go, and they were making little flowers out of silk that you held over a match to make the edges curl, and I just thought that was the neatest thing ever. So I joined then, and I love all kinds of crafting. And of course, I love the community service, the service projects we do.
I grew up in Washington County, and so I was part of the Washington County Fair since I was about 8 years old, and I volunteered through that as an adult. And through volunteering, I met Anna, and she just insisted that I go to a training on how to be a fair judge. So when I went to this training, I was actually tasked with going to a neighboring county's fair to judge, and while I was there, I met Mary King. And I have a real heart for volunteering and community service, and so she does also, and I fell in love with a lot of the ladies that I've come into contact with, and it's really a big part of my life now.
Yeah, within Washington County, the Extension Homemakers Council volunteers, they donated over 36,000 hours just this past year. And whenever everything was going on with COVID, they were making the hand-sewn masks, and it was over 21,000 masks that they were able to make and distribute and get connected to medical and emergency personnel, to schools, and to health facilities that some of them were going to have to relocate the residents to meet the guidelines and safety for everyone. But we were able to help keep those businesses open during that time and protect individuals.
Well, to some extent, this is a nice segue to my next question, but in your estimation, how does EHC benefit communities in general and Washington County specifically?
Well, one of the things that, looking through the history of Washington County EHC, they've been a strong proponent and involved with various projects with Children's Hospital, and now that we have a Northwest Arkansas Children's Hospital, they continue to do a lot of projects and donations, and they can share more about those.
We make all the way from hats, crocheted and knitted hats. We make bibs. We make the port covers for chemo patients, mostly. I guess that's all.
The children in the NICU, we make crocheted octopi so that they'll grab onto the octopi rather than the cords and pull out the cords. We also donate a great deal of time and effort to the Rath Brothers organization. There's an Arkansas EHC CARES initiative, which is to alert people to the necessity of taking care of your own mental health and checking in on other people and things like that. The other clubs have done things like we're fixing to donate some dog shirts, we're fixing to donate some pillowcases to the Veterans Nursing Home.
Programs for WIC on the breastfeeding covers for individuals as they're getting the nutrition education, and then having a quilt that is a baby quilt that is donated, letting the parents know that others care about them and are thinking about them.
And we also remember our veterans by donating pillowcases, tray favors for the ones that are in the hospital. Oh, I guess in the nursing home too. And
some of our clubs have been involved with Quilt of Valor programs.
yes.
And we do have a lot of different, depending on individuals' personal interests and clubs, to where they may adopt a different project each year, or they may adopt the same project to continue working on among other programs that they're wanting to do.
Well, so I'm hearing kind of like a real personal effort versus, just collecting this and that to donate, or, buying a big mass amount of blankets, but actually creating them. It's special. How do people, or how can people get involved in an EHC chapter, and do y'all go about like advertising, or how do you elicit membership?
in our everyday life. Um, at the county fair, we will have people there that, because people will ask us, and we guide them about becoming a member. That's been pretty, the last 3 or 4 years at the fair. Well, forget COVID, but we didn't do much during COVID except make face masks, seemed like.
The bulk of our visibility is going to be at the Washington County Fair. There are a lot of ways that the EHC volunteers through the Washington County Fair. There's also a Facebook page for the Washington County EHC, and it's basically word of mouth.
And throughout the state, if someone sees this podcast or hears about it, then they can contact their local Cooperative Extension Service and ask more about volunteer opportunities and specifically on EHC.
Nice. So, yeah, that was my own experience. A neighbor invited me, so I'm like, what is this? What is EHC? So, yeah, same kind of word of mouth. The Washington County Fair, what is the relationship with EHC in the Washington County Fair, and how do you work together?
So we have youth and adult creative arts departments and divisions that are spread out, covering and encompassing a very wide spectrum of different skills that people enjoy as hobbies or just different things that they learn. And originally, county fairs were opportunities to showcase their projects that they had made to other individuals, and it is still that opportunity. We know a lot of adults don't realize that they can enter things also. If you're interested, you could go to the website, and they're about to have the updated fair catalog on there. It is mywashcofair.com, so it's mywashcofair.com, and there's youth entries, so individuals that have not yet graduated high school, they can enter items and be able to showcase their projects, whether it be baked goods or photography or different items that they've made. And both Mary and Amy can share some of the different things throughout the county fair before, during, and after that occur.
Well, the first thing, we have to have everything set up, and then we clean it. So we have a cleaning day, and then we take entries on the Saturday prior, and then we rest on Sunday. And I'm not going to say what I was going to say. On Monday, we have judges come, and they judge our different departments. I'm the chair of the Needle Arts Division, and Amy's chair of the
Junior clothing. And
Anna just walks around taking pictures and guiding us like she's supposed to do. But it's a lot of fun. You get to meet people. You get to see everything that is entered. And I'll add this right now because I thought of it a while ago. A lot of fairs or craft shows, in order to enter, you have to pay a fee. And when we entered in the Washington County Fair, there's no fee, and there's a small reward in the ribbons that we get. They are awarded by the Fair Board, dollars. So it's free, and you get dollars in return. So I think that's a good draw, too.
Washington County EHC sponsors a scholarship every year. And when I won it, they were just giving one scholarship. But this last year, there were 3 $500 scholarships awarded. And the way that they facilitate that is through, it's called a scholarship bazaar or the country store, where EHC members donate items that they've created themselves, or books or things of that nature, and they're sold there at the fair. And all of the proceeds from that go to the scholarship. And in order to win the scholarship, all you have to do is be a resident of Washington County and have exhibited at the fair.
And this has been going on since 1956. And initially, it was providing the tuition for an individual to attend college at the University of Arkansas at Fayetteville, and then has been able to expand and grow since then, but has been every year. And even during COVID, they were able to honor that and utilize their funds that they had set aside from previous years. Thankfully, we had that to continue the scholarship program. And then we have our members that are involved in answering questions throughout the fair, and they volunteer and make sure that people are able to find their item that they had entered, or that they can get information about how to enter the next year. And then we have a day where people come and pick up their items after the county fair has closed to the public and the carnival is packing up. Then everyone can come back and get your items and take it home, and the premium check, the monetary amount, is mailed to the individuals, so they get to keep their ribbons, you get to keep your products. Obviously, the baked goods don't last. But other than that, including for food preservation, the canning items, they are not opened, they are not tasted, so you get to have your products back. And it's a wonderful opportunity to get to see what everyone else is making and doing and learn also.
It's fun. It's really fun.
It's just, I think about like it's just a community kind of taking care of itself, and taking care of each other, and also simultaneously kind of building community. It's very endearing. So I'd noticed, as a fairly new member myself, within the newsletters, that there are trainings which take place within EHC. Did you want to maybe talk about some of those trainings that have happened and might be coming up?
We are all the time throughout the year having different trainings that we're conducting, whether it's an educational workshop or whether we're training individuals to be for instance, a judge for different county fairs, because we go and we reciprocate the value for other counties. They come and help judge ours, and we come to theirs, and so we want to make sure that everyone is consistent, especially in positive for the youth aspect for all of their entries. We want to make sure that we're encouraging and hoping to see them enter more items in the future. We know for exhibits, these may be either a hobby, it may be the first time that they did something, but for kids, this might potentially be something that could be an aspect of their future career. And so we want to make sure to encourage them to expand and do as much as they're interested. So we have a lot of workshops available for food preservation or you name it on the different topics. And if you're interested in something, let us know, because we have several different areas of focus with the Cooperative Extension Service that are in addition to me. There are other county agents that work with me.
So throughout the year, the clubs meet once a month. There's supposed to be so many meetings or social kinds of meetings, and so many meetings are passing information, classes, those kind of things. The clubs themselves kind of decide what they want to teach and learn and focus on. And then on the county level, we meet several times a year. Like, we're going to meet in June at the Food Science Center at the university, and we're going to learn about charcuterie boards and I'm sure some other aspects of food safety. At our spring council meeting, you remember we learned how to make pie. So there are a lot of different clubs follow the programs that Anna sets out, like, throughout the year. Like, there's going to be some programs on depression and anxiety and things related to mental health, which is promoting the EHC cares, which is the statewide program for the next 2 years. But the clubs themselves individually kind of, like Mary's club, Needle Arts, she had a class on making dryer balls. And so she took her show on the road and she made everybody in Washington County EHC enter a dryer ball in the fair. But also through that Needle Arts club, she taught a class on how to crochet a dish rag. Is that what they're called?
Yes, it had a new technique in the old, what's it called, granny dish rack. And it was a different way to finish it that left all the corners square.
We've also had classes on making collages and giving those to cancer patients as a gift. And other clubs do, some of them will do more project-related classes, and some of them will, do the program set out by Anna.
And we have a wide variety of different research-based projects that are available. If there's a lesson topic that someone's interested in, that I can just send them or make the copies of the files and get them the information so they can have that program for their club meetings.
That explains the questionnaire.
Yes.
Because there was a question that asked, what is something that you're interested in? So that sounds like something you might kind of be looking around to help. That's neat.
To help us plan for next year, and also even sooner than that, we're in the process of later this year scheduling a program at the Schmeeding Center for Senior Health that's with UAMS, and it's right on the border of Washington and Benton County in Springdale. And working with them and bringing in guest speakers talking about brain health and a wide variety of topics. And like Amy had mentioned, our food science program in June that we're going to be covering about healthier eating, ways to make food at home that tastes better but is less on the sodium, and some of the things for improving our health.
And I've noticed in the newsletter a couple of the Savoy meetings that I told Anna last week. I was like, I'm going to have to start going to some of these Savoy meetings and learn how to make pie crust and some kind of cake decorating. And
Yeah, we had a candle making instruction as well, which was just terrific.
And as a bonus, several of our volunteers help with our youth programs throughout the summer and throughout the year, because we always need additional individuals helping on teaching and guiding those lessons. And when we're doing some of those, the more hands and eyes that are available, it's wonderful.
Mm-hmm. So to wrap things up, is there anything that might be new that is coming to EHC as in a way of like doing things, or maybe something new to expect? And if not, is there anything that you individually would like to see? Or are we just perfect?
I myself personally would like to see us ramp up the social media, because I believe that there's a way for us to have a bigger presence and reach a bigger audience.
We currently do not have an Instagram account, and I think we need that.
You're going to start TikToking?
No.
We're not allowed to do that with the university. It is actually state policy.
Of all things.
But one of the things that we do have advisory committees each year, and we meet and basically ask the same question of what would you like to see, what are things that you would like to see done different, and also we look at the county to see if there are parts of the county that we need to potentially fill out if they're wanting to have a new club. We have a brand new club that started today and filled out the paperwork, so that's why we're up to now 18 clubs, and over 200 and
It's 285.
yeah.
Right about. That's the other thing that I would like to see, is that when we get together in these project clubs or these smaller clubs, it's really a smaller setting and you get to know these people. But when we have these, like the extravaganza with other people from other counties, and when we have these county-wide things, like you meet all different walks of types of people, and it's so much fun. And basically we have about 15% of the members coming to these, and I would like to see what it would take to have more interest in doing that. Like, what are the things that the people that are not coming to these, and they're so much fun, even on this small scale that we're doing. It's so much, it's way different than when you meet on your local club level, and it's nice to see these people 2 or 3 times a year and talk about what they're doing and how their family is, and have a nice meal.
Like a little reunion of sorts.
Right.
And I know that Amy mentioned the mental health, just the belonging is very important for a lot of individuals, and that someone notices if you miss the meeting and they're checking on you, that real ownership and welcoming is beyond words can say. That is very important for many of our individuals.
And one thing that I don't think that we talked about that I really think is a plus for this organization is that if you join EHC in Washington County, there are 18 clubs that you're now a member of. You can go to any club inside Washington County. And in fact, if you planned it right, you could go to any club in Benton and Madison County.
I did not know that.
Yes. So I would like to invite you to any of the clubs.
That's exciting. Yes.
If you would like to learn how to crochet, or you would like to sit and listen to all the little old ladies talk, Needle Arts is the place to be. If you want to learn how to quilt, there's 3 quilting groups now.
I have no excuse
Yes.
anymore. I was telling these ladies that I'm not adept at canning or anything like that, but I really need to learn these things, so now I know where.
And you know how to sign up,
Yes, I do.
and you will get at least 3 jars of product to enter in the fair. And you know how to do that now, too.
Well, ladies, I can't thank you enough. If you have any parting thoughts that you want to impart to our listeners.
Just a reminder that our membership is open to all individuals, and we look forward to hearing from you. And we are available at the Washington County Cooperative Extension Service, and you can reach us at 479-444-1755 if you're in Washington County, or if you want to know how to get in touch with your other county, wherever you're located, just reach out to us.
Well, thank you very much, and I'm going to link all of the URLs to my episode. And I want to thank you all for joining me today on the Dixiecast, the Sound of the South. And we will see you next time for another heaping helping of Southern comfort for your ears.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Can we-
ladies.
There's a dark and a troubled side of life. There's a bright and a sunny side too. Though we meet with the darkness and strife, the sunny side we oh so miss.